Welcome. Hope you are well. I'm Amanda. I am a licensed clinical social worker and therapeutic yoga instructor. I also work very intuitively and wanted to offer a channeled message here. If you have not seen my page or been a part of this course, so this is going to be posted on multiple platforms so that it can spread out to whoever needs to hear it and whoever is meant to find it. So just trust that if you are here and you are still watching, that this is meant for you. So let's get into it. So you're welcome to join me if you'd like to take a deep breath in, if you'd like to close your eyes. Otherwise, just be present and take in what comes through and what is shared. All right, so I'm gonna close my eyes, take a breath in and out, easing into your body, this connection between your heart, your mind, your soul, your gut, your instincts, your third eye. When I am very focused, it often looks like I'm thinking like really hard. And I know that this area gets like tight. My skin gets tight. It doesn't feel tight, though I can tell that it might look like I'm really in something, or perhaps something is even like wrong. But it's the way that my intuition and third eye, work for me, closing my eyes and coming into the message and furrowing the brows. Okay, anyway, let's see what comes through. So what is meant for us to know and hear and take in this moment? Quiet. It is important to take time in quiet, to listen, to be still, to perhaps even experience an absence of thought, even if it's for a split second. That sometimes in the space of nothingness is everything. And in this space, in this open black hole, this open black space isn't empty. It's like confetti. There's an open black space that you might be able to see when you close your eyes, when you imagine, or when you go deep inside of yourself, whether you're laying down, whether you're seated. This is important to take time to take in when you are not engaging in anything. So no music in the background, no walking, no driving in your car. It's seated, it's laying down, it's pausing and being and tuning in. And when then you get this sense of, this vision of the empty black hole, the space, which often we don't want to go into. Often many of us avoid it. We don't take the time to be quiet because we're scared of what we might find out. And that's how you get to know yourself. If you are enhancing this relationship with you, which is really the only way to create some, establish ease in your nervous system. And so this isn't just the mystical spiritual realm. This is our physical bodies and the way that our nervous system works that often contributes to feeling scared and anxious, stressed and overwhelmed, or down, detached, depressed, dissociated. All of these mental health disorders that I diagnose in my full-time job as a therapist, so I can bill insurance, they're not disorders. There is nothing wrong with you. They are manifestations. We manifest the negative just as much as we manifest the positive. I don't even love the word manifestation. I view it as creation, that you are a co-creator in your life and you're not alone in doing it. Okay, so much is coming through. You co-create with energy, with the universe, with whatever word you want to say. If it's a higher power, if it's source energy, if it's your chi, if it's God, if it's spirit, if it's you and your soul, your higher consciousness and your soul working together. So that's this word, co-creation, is collaboration. Oh my goodness, I listened to another person channeling like months ago, and they were speaking to multiple people, but to me, and what I took in was, or what I heard them say was, you're going to be collaborating. You're going to have big collaborations. And my mind went, okay, like I'm going to join with other people and probably put on yoga workshops and other events together. And then it hit me now, not just today, but recently, like, no, this co-creation is me with this creative intelligence. And so it's so reassuring and so relieving to not be doing all of this on your own. And it's not an external need to pair, and we talk about pair bonding in relationships or romantic relationships. It's not an external need to bond or connect or collaborate or depend or rely on any other physical being or physical human, even if it's a pet. Yes, it is comforting and it is a secondary gain. It is extra. It is the gifts to have connections and people in your life, whether pets, other people, friends, family, romantically. And that's all for you. And if you want that, you can have that. You already do. But the first part of it is to recognize and open up to this co-creation with yourself and with this like higher connectivity of something outside of yourself. You know, yoga often says, you know, connect to something greater than your sense of self, or set your intention to or with something greater than your sense of self. And it never landed for me, like I'd say it, but it really never landed for me until recently. And then when it does, when you break through into fully accepting and appreciating this sense of co-creation, so much more is possible, and so much more abundance from whether it's wealth, whether it's love, whether it's success, is there for you, will show up for you. So welcome the co-creation. Welcome your time in stillness so that you can get to know it, get to know yourself, and then become the creator of your life and for others. It's that simple, even though it feels really hard, but it is actually very simple to not have to go out and find someone. You know, I also hear other people speak so frequently. The book, Are You My Mother, comes in because it's like, you know, that little bird going around looking like, are you my mother? Are you my mother? Are you my mother? That's all we're all, we're like aimlessly searching, like, are you my person? Are you my person? Are you my soulmate? Are you the next mentor? Or are you the supervisor? Are you the leader? Are you the person that I'm going to collaborate with? And yes, like, embrace those, but they're going to show up more and more and more and be more aligned when you first accept this relationship with self. The relationship with your higher self, the relationship with some higher consciousness outside of you, and ask for what you want. Ask. So in this instance, moments of your stillness, into the black, empty space, as I said before, there's confetti, there is celebration, there is a rejoice for you walking in. It's like a door. I see a doorway and this glow around it, which I know also, like, physically is because I'm looking at the camera, and so when I close my eyes I see the reflection of it, but that's, everything is a mirror, everything is a reflection, so it's still meaningful, even if I know, like, on the earthly level, oh, I'm closing my eyes and I'm just seeing the outline of my phone. But also I'm like, no, I'm seeing the outline of this door, because all surrounding it is black space, but there's a glow, there is light, there is so much light, so much light. And how does that feel now? Like I said, we're often scared to slow down, to be still, to go into the empty space, to find out more about yourself. And I encourage you to consider it, to consider being still, to consider the quiet, to consider what you experience, to open up, to be willing to experience you. And as you do so, there's bright lights, there's confetti. What does your confetti represent? I can't tell you. That only you make that meaning. Though I'm sensing it's wonderful. Is it because you had a revelation? Is it because you were gifted something? Is it because you came to know something more certain? Take it in. Trust it. And trust comes from nervous system regulation. Here's where the metaphysical, the mysticism, the spirituality, and the physical intersect. And so many people miss this. Oh my gosh, like I think about all the spiritual people I look up to and watch, and they do not talk about this. I mean, they'll want you to say like, do things for your body. But here in this moment, to trust, to really trust, you must create a sense of safety in your nervous system. So you could be like, all right, I'm trusting, I'm accepting, I'm feeling content, I'm saying all these affirmations, and I'm meditating, and I'm listening to these people, and I'm writing things down. That all helps. I know it does. I do it. I meditate 2 times a day. I do yoga. I journal. And I don't say this to like boost my ego, to boost myself. I say it because it works. And I did it for years without really landing in a secure sense of self, in feeling content, in not having that anxiety, in reducing the fear, and recognizing that I didn't trust myself or things outside of me. And if there's no trust, then I'm not going to connect into this co-creation, and I'm really not going to be able to be as effective in spreading things like this to the world, but also attracting more of what I desire in my life. And I want that for you. I do. I want that for you. So taking the time in stillness to explore what shows up, and sometimes before the confetti is going to be the darkness. And you are capable, you are competent, you have the capacity to feel that which you fear. Many of us fear our feelings and their energy. They are sensations. So if you break it down, your emotion, to not have to be the fear, the shame, the guilt, the pain, the hurt, the grief, but the physical sensation of it. Where is it? Tune into your body. Sometimes mine's in my stomach. Sometimes mine's in my chest. Sometimes mine's in my jaw. Often it's in my jaw. And it's like this holding back. It's like, don't speak that. Don't say that. Don't accept this as your truth. It's scary. It is. You're not alone in that. But our jaw is constantly chewing because we're constantly thinking. It's like, what are you chewing on? What are you thinking about? And so as you slow down the thoughts with the use of your breath, in that time in quiet and solitude and stillness and patience and commitment to yourself, then it's all possible, and it's all in that field. It's all in that black hole where everything exists, and then you can jump in and choose what you desire. So physical regulation of your nervous system in your body. Tune into the sensation and then explore it curiously. What does it want you to know? What is that part of you saying? And then maybe write it down and then respond to it. openly with acceptance and compassion and care for you. You self-soothe you. You are your own container. Nobody else is responsible to be the container for you. Maybe you didn't have that as a child. Yes, at that point in time, your parents, they need to be your container. But if they weren't, because they didn't have their own container from somebody else and they're growing up in generational trauma, just being passed on and on and on and on and on, you can focus on the victim mentality, the blame, the anger, or you can recognize that you are capable and you have your own container and something outside of you contains for you too. Let yourself be held and supported by the energy, by higher consciousness, by you. And then you'll be more available for others, not to contain and hold it all for them, but to be there with them. Here's my container, here's yours, we're coming together. It's beautiful. All right, take this all in. And thank you so much for showing up for yourself. You amaze me.